YouTube, what's happening? It's Friday, May 16th, and we're going to talk about the MLB first today. We have 15 games today. It's your typical regular season Friday. Everybody's playing. We have new series starting for the weekend, so we got good stuff to look forward to. We're going to look at the spreadsheets. We're going to look at the props, see if we can find some value. But first, let's do a little recap of yesterday, like we always do around here. We took these 5 plays. There was only 6 games yesterday. The Twins won their like 11th straight game. It was nice. They won the game outright. White Sox did not do well. So, hey, the Pope cannot help them that much, apparently. Over 8 hits for Toronto. Houston lost a 1-0 game because it was just a straight pitching duel between DeGrom and Hunter. And just amazing if you like pitching. And then LA and the A's hit over 9.5. I mean, quite easily, thanks to LA having their barrage of 19 runs or whatever it was. Yeah, anyway, so that's a 3 in 2 day. That's profit. That's slight profit, but we'll take it. Anything green, it doesn't matter how much it is. Green's the goal. We got it. So if you want the plays typed out for every sport I do, all you got to do is, or access this, just go check out the HQ. Simple as that. So we have multiple sports happening. We have WNBA starting today. That's going to be another sheet we're going to add. Yeah, so that's another sport. Wow. Busy times around here. Interesting. So enough of that. Let's stop wasting time. We have 15 games. Let's jump to that first one right now. Okay, like we usually do, we're going to look at weather to start off so we can see if there's anything that stands out. So we have like at Wrigley, winds blowing out 20 miles an hour between the Cubs and the White Sox. Yeah, what's that total? 11 and a half. Yeah, that makes sense completely. Cincy in 11, potential rain in the game. So it might not start raining, but you can see what's going to happen in the game. 92, 91. So somewhere in the game is probably going to rain, which is not good. Phillies out 5, maybe some rain. Baltimore 3, not much about a win, but the rain itself might delay the game. Yankees in at 5, potential rain there. Blue Jays, no worries. Boston, no worries there. Miami, no worries. Casey out at 16 to right center or just right field. Beautiful day. So over potential here. Texas, Milwaukee, Arizona, no worries. San Diego, no worries. Dodgers straight out 8, no worries. Giants 13 straight out, maybe an over there. So we have a lot of wind potential today with some potential rain on the East Coast. So we'll look at those when we get to each particular game. So enough of that. Let's go ahead and jump to the first game right now. All right, so we kind of touched on this one already. It's White Sox and Cubs. It's 2:20 Eastern day game. You can see currently it's Chicago 2:20 with 11 and a half out there. We saw the wind is literally pumping out here. What was it? 20 miles an hour to left center. 82. It's going to be warm. It's going to be windy. It's going to be definitely an environment for some nice deep fly balls to become souvenirs for the fans. So let's look at the spreadsheet and see how these teams are doing. Damn, they're not doing good. The 2 of the worst batting teams in the league. Cubs are last place right now. Buck 93, White Sox 209. Typically, when I see this, I don't want to touch a game like this, but man, it's 20 miles an hour. That is something. And yeah, they're 15th in home runs. We just need pop-ups. We need deep flies. Deep flies become home runs in weather like this. So this could potentially be something we want to look at. They're both playing like ass. Let's go look at the pitching, see who's going to be out there. This is Outlier. Link in the pinned comment. Click it, sign up, get you a week for free. Okay, so we know Shane Smith's going out there for the White Sox, but why do we not have anything for the Cubs? Who's going out there for the Cubbies? Follow me. And we see it's going to be Cade Horton. And the question, who is Cade Horton? Let's find out. He's 1-0 with a 6.75 ERA. My God. 5 Ks and a 1.0 whip. Ugh. Let's see. Yeah, he had 4 innings pitched, 3 earned runs against the Mets on May 10th. And that he had 5 strikeouts in 4 innings, but who? Yeah, I don't know about that. And Shane Smith, let's look at your history. Oh, I guess Cade Horton is right here. Okay, cool. White Sox versus righties, you can see how they've done this season. Chicago versus Rays, you can see how they've done this season. And Shane Smith, they've never faced him. So both teams have never faced the pitcher they're facing today, which is good for the pitching. But man, 20 miles an hour. If they get pop-ups, it's done. So how are we doing on the bats? Let's take a look over here and just take a peek. How we doing? Yeah, you see this lines up with the fact that both teams are batting like just garbage. Only one doing decent is Nico. And yeah, HR 4 out of 5, but even then, still not good. Oh, this is tough. This is a tough one. Typically, stat-wise, I would leave this alone, but oh man, this is like a day where this is a slump buster type of day right here. Everything's lining up weather-wise for this to not even matter. So, man, I'm taking it. I'm going over 11 and a half. We're going to trust the weather. I know. I don't like it that much, but because of this, because how bad they're batting. But so you get a deep fly, it's gone. So let's trust the over 11.5. Move on to the next game. All right, moving on to game two's Cleveland and Cincinnati. We already saw the weather is going to pick up significantly in the middle of the game, so I'm already kind of cautious on this one if I want to do anything. We're currently sitting on Cleveland 125 with a 9 total. Let's pop over to the spreadsheet, look at the numbers. Cleveland, average, maybe a little above average. Cincy, still at the bottom. They're down there with both Chicago teams currently when it comes to bats. Let's look over at the actual props and see what we have for the pitchers. Swap to this game, and we have Brady Singer versus BB. Tanner BB. So decent little matchup. Only thing that's really standing out prop wise for the pitchers is going to be BB's outs. That's it. His strikeouts head to head, he's hit this a bunch, but since he is striking out 29th of all teams at 10.4 in the last 10 games, Cleveland does not strike out much. We know this. See, they're just consistent. Cincy, on the other hand, is never consistent. Consistency, you can't spell that in Cincinnati. No, that's not a thing. So let's look at these two pitchers. Let me show you stuff. I'm leaning on passing unless something really jumps out here in the next minute. So, damn. Something like that jumps out. You go, damn, look at that. Cleveland versus Singer, you can see how they've done historically. Yeah, they've owned this dude. 3 home runs for Ramirez, 444. We got a 4 for 5, 500, 4 for 10, 250, 467, 714, which is 5 for 7, 391 for Quan. Okay. Against righties, you can see how they have done historically this season. Cincy versus righties, you see how they have done, and against a BB, nothing really stands out here. So Cleveland owns Singer, so Cleveland should be the way to go here. Technically, yeah, they have the historic lean for the pitcher. They have the batting advantage based on how they've been doing. So at the hotter bats, they got the historic pitcher. They have. Only thing I'm worried about, I'm really concerned, is just this damn weather. That's the biggest thing I'm worried about. So, it starts nicely, but then they expect it to tear up. This isn't just rain, this is storms, lightning delays. So, as soon as you pop a delay out there, Singer's done. And yeah, another guy's done too. So, I lean Cleveland heavily on this one, but I'm going to be smart here. And I'm going to take a pass on this one. Let's move on to the next game. All right, game 3 is Pittsburgh and Philly, the poop series on screen, which apparently changes, so it's no longer going to say that. Sad times indeed. P, 0 out, 0 out, P. Shame. Philly 225 with an 8.5. Let's look over at the sheet. And Pittsburgh is just like the other teams we saw. Since both Chicago teams, they're not good. Philly's doing great, so they have one, they're at home. That's a plus for them. They have clear bat advantage. That's a plus for them. Let's see. Let's go look at pitchers, see if we have who has the advantage here. Ranger Suarez has been very inconsistent with his walks. He has been allowing hits. Haney's been allowing walks too. So let's look at these. Anybody good at walks is the question. Philly's 9th, 3.3. Haney's at 1.5 walks. We can look at that one. We're not looking at Pittsburgh, 2 average, so not Suarez. Suarez hits allowed. Pittsburgh hits 24th. Not looking at that either. Doesn't make sense. So we're going to look at Andrew Haney. And we're going to look at his walks, and you see 2025, he's averaging 2 walks, which isn't enough. We want at least 2.5 to 3 walks per game on average. So, no, we're going to leave that alone. So let's look at this stuff here. Suarez versus Pittsburgh. History, there you go. We got a 429. We have no home runs. Nothing stands out. Against lefties, you see how Pittsburgh's done this season. Bart's always good against lefties, and then McCutcheon's good against pretty much everybody consistently. Philadelphia, you can see how they are doing versus lefties as well. It's a lefty-lefty battle. And then against Andrew Haney, there you go, 6 for 8. But other than that, not much standing up. There's a home run for Romuto, but nothing else stands out. So not really loving anything here. Let's go to the bats. Anything standing out here? We got to find something. Canario is 100%. Schwarber hits an 8 out of 10, 4 out of 5. Alec is falling off a little bit, but decent. Schwarber, again, has some stuff. What is it? Philly 225. If it was 150, I'd take it, but 225 is pricey for something that they have a couple leans, but not enough for me to really care. So I'm gonna pass next. All right, Washington of Baltimore. Remember, weather's a factor in this one too. See, 74% at first pitch. That's not what you want to see. It's gonna go on to 11. So potential rain delay again. Man, these rain delays are tell you. Let's look at the lineup, see what we got. Currently, it's a pick 'em with a 9 total. Makes sense. Who's the numbers? That makes sense why it's a pick 'em, because everything, they're copying each other, basically. Look at that. 21st, 10th, 21st, They're the same team, different jerseys. So no advantages here at all. We look at the props. What do we have here? We come over here. We went Orioles. And we see Mackenzie Gore and hit strikeout machine Mackenzie Gore. That's what he's been. And versus Cade Apovich. Mackenzie Gore, 6.5 strikeouts. Baltimore. I'm sorry, Baltimore. You're 22nd. You're about to become a victim of Mackenzie Gore's strikeout machine because this dude has been crushing the strikeouts. Look at all that green. 2025, he's averaging 8.3. As he faced Baltimore this season, he has, and he had 8 of them already once this season. So, yep, he's already done it once. He can do it again. So I'll take him. My only concern is the rain, but in this one, it's more rain like early on because of the way you can see the way it's supposed to do. The peak of it is right when they start, so they might delay it, which is fine. If we get a rain delay in the 3rd inning, we're going to lose this bet. I'm going to tell you right now. So, but I might risk it though because of where the rain situation is supposed to happen. We're trusting weather people around here now. You know, meteorology is so predictable sometimes. So, yeah, 8.3. Last 5, he's averaging 8.6. So we just need what, 7? Yeah, I think we can get 7 here. The only thing he did bad against was Philly. He still got 6. Yeah, I'll take Gore. Let's look at the history Gore has. This is Povich versus Washington history. Nothing stands out. Lefties for Washington this season. All right, now popping over to Baltimore, and you can see they are not good against lefties. Everybody's at 1 except for your eyes. It's at 333. O'Hearn's at 263. And Mullins at 297. Everybody else is in the 1s or 0s. They are not good with lots of strikeouts. So, yeah, we're going to take Mackenzie Gore, 6.5 strikeouts. If the weather gets us, it gets us, but I got to take this matchup. He should do well here. Gore, strikeouts next. All right, moving on to the Subway Series, Mets and Yankees. And currently it is Yankees 130 with a 9 total. Look at the spreadsheet. Yankees offense is still crushing with the bats. Pitching is what lets them down. That's why they got 4 losses. Mets, you can see how they do. They're doing average. So, okay. So offense is the thing. No red anywhere, which is what you want to see. Let's look at the pitchers. Who's going out there today? Goodbye, you. Let's see. You want to Yankees? Right there. And we load them up and we see Miguel versus Carlos Rodon. Strikeouts for Rodon because they've both been, look at the strikeouts. They're both doing great. Only problem is, Mets don't strike out much, only 7.8. Yankees are 8.8, so they're close. I prefer not to take anybody yellow or green. I want red, like we did last time with Baltimore. Ooh, buddy, let's look at them. Are they crushing these numbers? Let's look. Because 2025, let's see, you're averaging 7.4. Last 5, you're averaging 7.8. 2025, you're averaging 6.5. Last 5, you're averaging 7. So you both have increased your strikeouts in the last 5 games, which is good. It would be, if I'm taking one, it's not going to be Rodon versus the Mets because yeah, he's averaging 7.8. The Mets are averaging 7.8 themselves the entire game, which means yeah, I don't think you're getting the 7 strikeouts against the Mets. If you do, you're just crushing, and I just can't trust that. So goodbye. If I do take somebody, it's going to be McGill, 5.5 versus the Yankees, who strike out more. 10, 9, 6, 7. None of these. It's Cubs. St. Louis doesn't strike out much. That's actually impressive. Washington doesn't strike out much. So, but Minnesota, what was this? How many? He had an off day. It happens. So, yeah, you're averaging 6.5 on the season. Right now you're averaging 7. You need 6. Yankees strike out 8.8 per game in the last 10. 9.1 on the whole season. So they're just not good at strikeouts. So this could be a play we could take. I'm not taking the over or under because these are both decent pitchers, I do believe. Let's look at the histories. Carlos versus the Mets. There you go. All time. Yep. Against lefties, you can see how they've done this season. Yankees versus righties this season. There you go. And against Miguel, you can see how the Yankees have done themselves. So I have no clue who's going to win this one. I think I like this. I think I'm going to go with Miguel strikeouts. Something tells me he can get 6 strikeouts off the Yankees. It might be a little sweaty, but the way he's been pitching recently, it might not be. So let's take McGill, 5.5 strikeouts next. Our next up is Detroit and Toronto. We have currently it's slightly in Detroit with a 8.5 total. Look at the spreadsheet. Look at all the green 1v6 when it comes to runs. Top 2 and 3 batting averages at 296 and 290. 3 and 5 on the OBP. Slugging, OBS, hits, doubles, RBIs. It's all amazing. Look at that. Lots and lots of runs. Lots and lots of production. That's what we like to see. So, yeah, like the over here if the pitchers are average. I like the over in this one. So let's look at who the pitchers are. We need to change this to the Blue Jays. To this one, yep. Flaherty, who did not look good in his last outing, versus Bowden Francis, who has been over earned runs 2.5 in 4 out of the last 5 games. So is Flaherty. Look at that. See, they've not been good. Over. We're going over, but we'll look at everything. Got to look it over. Yeah, 2025. Yeah, you see they have both been getting beat up here in the last month and a half. So yeah, we're gonna fade both these pitchers with both these bats that are amazing for an over 8.5. Yeah. Let me show you some more stuff just because I know you want to see it. Bowden Francis versus Detroit history. Detroit versus righties this season. Toronto versus righties this season. And Toronto versus Jack Flaherty history. There you go. If you care about that stuff, have fun. For me, though, I am going to focus on that bad pitching versus this amazing double bats are doing great. And we're going to take this nice, juicy 8.5 for that plus 100 next. All right, next up, we got Atlanta and Boston. Currently, it is Boston 124, the 8 total. Let's look over at those sheets. And we can see a bunch of average, mid, maybe below average a little bit. Nothing stands out here. There's no advantages with the bats here. Let's look at the props. Who's pitching today? And this one is going to be Crochet versus Sale. Now, that it sounds like a matchup. Okay, so we have average to below average bats, yet we have 2 potential beasts out here who are both giving up walks a lot. That's interesting. And Sale's strikeouts sit 4 out of 5 too. So let's look at both these dudes. What's the total? 8? I might want to take the under in the first 4. Let's look at their earned runs. That's what I care about. Earned runs 2025. You can see he's averaging 1.3. Last 5, he's averaging 1.6. That's what you want to see. Good stuff. Sale, earned runs, whole season, 2.3. Last 5, 1.4. Sale has been disgusting. Actually, they've both been. They're combining for 3 combined earned runs in the last 5 games each. So, yeah, hell, we might look at a Nerfy in this one. We'd look at the under first 5. There's a lot of things we could look at here. So, interesting. Let's look at the matchup histories. Crochet versus Braves history. Let's see. Ozuna's got a home run in 1 and 3 at bats. The rest is a bunch of nothing. Lefties for the Braves. There you go. You see how they do? Not the best. Not the best. Boston versus lefties. They like them some lefties a little bit. We got some 3s on there. We got some 2s. Yeah. Chris Sale history. They don't like Chris Sale though. They like other lefties not named Chris Sale. So yeah, we're going to take an under or we're going to take the Nerfy. Which one do we want to go with? Let's discuss. Let's think. Well, they're combining for over 8 runs a game for the whole game. So that's still a little concerning. We take the under. We're relying on both pitchers to go 5 innings, which they should do. I don't see why they wouldn't, because how many outs are you going right now? You're averaging 17.2, which is 5 and 2/3, a little over 5 and 2/3. We got Crochet outs. Let's take a look at him. He's averaging literally 6 innings. That's what he's averaging. So that works out great. So if we go with this under 8, I could. Let's go. I don't want to. I do not want to trust the bullpens on this one. No, they're too good for this. So we got. First off, let's look at the Nerfy. Let's go ahead and just look at this one. First inning over under half minus 130. That sounds good. That sounds real good. Both pitchers come out strong. I like the way that sounds. Let's also look at 5 innings. Over under 4.5 maybe. Under 4. 120. They're combining for 3. That looks good too. You know what? I think I'm going to go with that one. I do like the Nerfy, but Nerfies are sweaty because all of a sudden the pitcher will come out a little rusty, not ready, not loose enough. All of a sudden, boom, there's a run. And all of a sudden it's 1-0 in the 7th inning. It's like, oh, that 1 run. So I'm going to go under 4 first 5. So we're going to take that. So the first 5, I think they can combine and get under 4 for us. If they can do that, great. 4 pushes. We're okay with push. So we'll take the under 4 at 120. Good stuff, and move on to the next one. Okay, next up is the Florida series. It's Tampa at Miami. And currently we see what's slightly to Miami with an 8 total. Really interesting. Okay. Look at the spreadsheet. We can see Tampa's offense is doing pretty decently. They popped off. They were bad, but then the last few games they popped off for real against Toronto. Miami has been just where Miami tends to be down here. So nothing's truly standing out. So let's see who is throwing the ball today. Pitching is going to be it's Taj Bradley. Oh, Taj Bradley is back. Who's pitching for the Marlins? That's a question. It's Max Meyer. So since he's not showing up here, let's Taj Bradley walk. So what is Miami on walks? Miami is 15th, so we don't care about that. But we will open them up anyway so we can get under the hood and see the histories. Ooh, that's a lot of walks. Earned runs. That's what I care about with you. You've been pretty decent. Okay, okay. I said bad things, but I take them back. Only 2 earned runs. That's looking good. So let's look at the history. Max Meyer versus the Rays, nothing. Tampa versus righties, something decent. Miami versus righties, they prefer kind of a mix. So they want some lefties in there. Against Taj, nothing. Taj has actually done pretty good. Interesting. Look at Taj Bradley showing out a little bit. You ain't striking out much. No, no. You stop doing strikeouts. You start focusing on outs, which is what you need to do. So you're giving up. How many hits are you giving up per game? You're getting better. And that was against Milwaukee, the Yankees, KC, who's heated up by then. Yankees will dress though a little bit. So do I dare trust Taj? Do I trust Taj Bradley? Is the question. I am inclined to, and I'm a little scared. I thought that out loud. So let's look. Any bats standing out? Of course there are. A couple. Well, it's only a couple Marlins. But where are the Rays players? Why are we in the last 10? We won't last 5. No, I won't last 10. That's right. Yeah. So there's not much last. Okay. So ooh, that is rough. Okay. I was leaning on taking Tampa, but after seeing that, that's a whole lot of nothing with the bats, even though the numbers look decent. They're just not consistent in the last 10 games. Ooh, I think. And then we're trusting Taj Bradley. I don't know if I can trust Taj Bradley, to be honest. So how many plays we got? Something's giving me that feeling I should pass. Is when you get those feelings, you trust those feelings. Pass. Next. All right, moving on. St. Louis and KC. Another little rivalry series happening. I think I've noticed a theme here. I don't know why it took this long to realize this, but there's a lot of teams facing potential rivals and locals. Yeah. Good job, MLB scheduling. That kind of works out nicely. So let's see. St. Louis, KC, and you can see it's KC 155, 8.5 is our total. Let's look over here. Yep. St. Louis is doing quite well with the bats. KC is doing average. Can't complain. The runs are down, though. They need to get them up, though. That's good with the bats, but the runs, St. Louis gets a lean here, and they're 9-1 in the last 10. Crazy. Let's look at the props. Who's pitching today? Is going to be Palante versus Cole Reagans. Reagan's strikeouts have been great. Over 6.5 is hit for the last 5, 7 of 10. That doesn't matter, though, because this is St. Louis. If you know about St. Louis, they don't strike out much. They're in the 7s. So, nope. And then KC is right way ahead of them at 6.9. Disgusting. Disgusting. And you can see all the numbers. Let's see. Palante earned runs has not been good. Oh, what about Reagan's? How's your earned runs looking, buddy? 1.5, and you're barely hitting that. So, yeah. KC's going to have the lean in the pitching department. I can tell you right now. We'll look at both of these earned runs real quick. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Earned runs, Reagan's 2025. Oh, maybe he's not. Damn. 2.38. Last 5, he's averaging 2.8. That's even worse. Palante, what are you averaging earned run was? 2025. Both of you were not averaging nothing. Let's see. Last 5, you're averaging 3.4. You both are doing quite. Earned runs, make sure. Yeah, I'm on earned runs. So combined in the last 5, we have a 2.8 and a 3.4. So we're averaging over 6. We have 6.2 earned runs just from the starters. What's our total? 8.5, and we got decent offenses here. Yeah, what's the weather in this one? That's another question. What is the weather? I haven't not been paying attention to the weather too much since we got off the East Coast. So let's look. Oh yes, it's out at 16 miles an hour with 78 degrees. I think you know where we're going with that one. Over 8.5 is our play. Next. All right, moving on. Houston and Texas. Absolute pitching gem yesterday. I had Houston money line, and hey, DeGrom pitched a masterclass. And I mean, so did Hunter Brown too. The only thing was Berger's home run. That was the only thing that happened the entire damn game. So you're gonna lose games like that occasionally. I mean, come on. It was exactly what I would still take that play 10 out of 10 times. So anywho, we move on. Texas 175, 8 is our total. Let's look at our sheets. And again, Houston's offense obviously took a beating. They both did because the pitching gems from yesterday. So they both went down a little bit. So let's go to pitching. Who's pitching today? Ain't as good as, well, Valdi's going out there today. That ain't good for Houston. And then Lance McCullers is going out there. I believe Lance got destroyed in his last game. So Texas, money line, please. Thank you. Yeah, he gave up 7 runs. It was good the first start. Second start, you let the Reds pop off on you. Reds are, they jump on the bad pitchers, but any good pitchers, they get shut down. So it's just, okay. Let's look at Valdi strikeouts. He's been pumping strikeouts. Houston's 7th in strikeouts, so we're not going to mess with this. I care about your earned runs, and you have not gave up nothing in the last 4 games, really. Last 5, you're averaging 0.8, and that's because you have a 2 here. So we have Texas at home. We have Texas with a pitching advantage massive. We have Texas with a 6-game winning streak. I just realized, what the hell? 6-game winning streak. That's another thing, because in baseball, streaks matter. So, yeah, Texas money line at 175 at home. I know Houston's numbers look decent, but you're facing, yeah, the pitching setup is not in your favor. And yeah, we're gonna go Texas money line next. Wait, 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 wait. I did show you everything. I was like, wait a minute, that was too quick. Let me hold on. Holy shit! Dude, look at this. Pump brakes. Pause. Look. Altuve has 7 home runs in 24 at bats against Evaldi. What? How is that possible? Okay. Walker has 2 home runs and 5 at bats against Evaldi. That's crazy. All right, I'm probably still taking Texas, but man, that is something, isn't it? That's crazy. Against righties, you can see how they've done this season. You can see how Texas has done against righties this season, and you see they have not faced Lance. Well, they have faced Lance. I lied. Sorry. They have faced him some. Garcia has a home run. Yeah. So there you go. Man, I know the history they got him, but man, he's pitching so good right now. I'm still going to take Texas money line. Now next. All right, moving on. We got Minnesota and Milwaukee, and we currently have a pick 'em that's 7.5. We look at the sheet. My streak counter only goes as high as 10 because I, for some reason, stopped it at 10, thinking about the last 10 games instead of all the games. So they're at an 11-game winning streak now, I do believe, because they won yesterday. So they should be at 11, unless I'm wrong. So streak 1 from Milwaukee. You can see the numbers and everything. Here you go. So Minnesota's not been amazing. They're just winning the game. So it's not like they have, oh, their offense is great, their pitching's no. They're just average on both, and they just happen to win. So let's go look at who's throwing the ball today. Evaldi, go away. McCullers, go away. We want this game right there. Yes, load them up. We got Joe Ryan versus Chad Patrick. Joe Ryan's strikeouts is standing out. Milwaukee is 16th in strikeouts at 8.4, so we're probably not going to take that, but we'll still look at it since it's green. Why not? Why not? Well, he's been great last 5. Last 5, he's averaging 7.8. Milwaukee is 8.4 on the whole season. Last 10, 8.2 on the season, 8 at home. So, yeah. Have you faced them before? Let's see. 2025. Have you faced? You have not. So, yeah, I'm going to pass on the strikeouts with you, buddy. Sorry. Patrick, history, nothing. Righties for Minnesota. There you go. Milwaukee, versus righties. There you go. And then versus Joe Ryan. We have 1 home run for Haas and nothing else. So, man, nothing's truly standing out. I mean, yeah, I know Minnesota's on a streak. But remember, before the streak, they were like, what did they, 13-20? They were way below. They were not looking good. They were in Pittsburgh territory. And now, all of a sudden, they're in playoff territory easy. So it's like, I don't know. Something's telling me to leave this game alone, so I'm going to. We're going to pass. Next. Moving on, Colorado at Arizona. And currently it's, oh my God, it's Arizona 405 with a 9.5 total. What are we doing? Oh, don't bet 405. I don't care. It's baseball. You know anybody can win at any time. I know Colorado's bad. I know they're bad. They're 7-36, but don't put Arizona in a parlay. Don't. Colorado's bats are not doing bad. Arizona's doing great with their bats. Who's pitching? It must be. Are they putting fans out there now as like part of like a promotion? Like, what are we doing? So let's look at who's pitching. Corbin Burns is pitching. He's gone over walks in certain games, but his earned run's been pretty good, so we'll look at that. Who is pitching for the Rockies? It is Carson Palmquist. Who? Yeah, let's figure out who the hell this is. Okay, that's why. Oh, Jesus, that ain't good. Carson, welcome to the majors, buddy. You're facing Arizona as a 400 money line, basically dog. So, oh no, he's a lefty. He's a lefty. That matters. So, oh buddy, oh buddy, oh buddy. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Burns history. Farmer has 2 home runs in 14 at bats. That's something. Other than that, nada, nothing. Against righties, see how Colorado's done this season. They have some 200s, but nothing too impressive. Arizona versus, well, it'd be lefties if they would have this loaded up here, and I don't recall how Arizona is versus lefties. So, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not 1.5 for 180. No. And I don't have any props for this Carson Palmquist fella. So, over 9.5. Could we do that? Could I take that? This feels, it feels like one of those games where all of a sudden he starts, Arizona's up 7-0 in the first. Doesn't it feel like that? It feels like it, but I feel like something's telling me to take the over, and I'm just going to do it. So, because around here in these parts, if you're new here, what we do is we fade all the pitchers in their major league debuts just because the lights are bright. So we fade them. So we're going over 9.5. Hopefully I'm right. 7-0 first inning, Arizona. Good stuff. So we'll take over 9.5 next. All right, Seattle and San Diego is up next, and currently 150 San Diego with an 8.5 total. Let's look at the numbers. Great for San Diego, bad for Seattle. Seattle's been terrible offensively. It's already 3-7. That's not good. That ain't going to get you many wins. So let's look over at who is throwing the ball today. It's going to be Steven Kolek versus a ghost, apparently, because we don't know who's pitching. So I got to go back over here again and see. It is Logan Evans. Okay, let's get some info on Logan Evans. Logan Evans has stats. Why are you not giving me any props for him? Let's go look at this. Well, then what has he done? Here's his pitch stuff. 5 innings, 5 innings, 5 innings, all this season. He has 3 starts. Why do I not have props? Books. What are we doing here? But this is why. 10 hits, 10 hits, 6 runs, only 1 earned against Texas. How'd that happen? With only 2 walks. How that math mathing? That math ain't mathing. What? 3 earned here. Still 10 hits is ridiculous. 2 hits, 2 earned against Miami. Miami's not good. So he's how? I don't know. I question things now. I question lots of things. Let's go back to the props. Let's look at the numbers. Kolek he don't have many stats either. What are we doing? It's not that. What? Okay, he has 2 games. He has no earned runs. And he had a complete game shutout of 20. Really? Damn. Why is over 2.5 plus 120? What are we doing here? I don't get it. I'm taking San Diego money line. Everything's pointing money line for San Diego. We're just gonna go San Diego money line. It's currently sitting at 150. I like that. Next. All right, next up we got LA playing LA in LA. So LA is minus 300 over LA with the LA 1.5 with the 9.5 over LA. Dodgers are gonna. I feel bad for the Angels in the series. I'm gonna tell you right now. I feel kind of bad for them. So Dodgers just put it on the A's yesterday, 19-2 or whatever shenanigans it was. It was up there. It was high. So yeah, let's look at the actual spreadsheet. Look at the ones. Look at all the ones. Number 1, they're batting 324 as a team, 1.0 OPS. If you're over 1 as a team, that is ridiculous. Hell, this is seeing a couple people over 1, but the whole damn team's averaging over 1. While you're batting at doing an OPS of 695. Come on, guys. You got to do better than that if you want to keep in the games. Now, 300 feels right for a game, a money line, but I would never take a 300 plus money line in baseball. I would never, ever, even in a parlay, I wouldn't do it. No. We've seen, especially the Dodgers. I think they played Pittsburgh last year where they were like a 400 favorite and they lost. Remember that. So yeah, don't fall into the hype. Let's go. Who's pitching? JK. Over outs. JK's not bad. His hits are good. His earned runs are decent, I believe. No, he's at 3. So basically, they're saying, okay, no matter how good or bad you are, LA's so hot right now, it doesn't matter. May over earned runs. Isn't the weather a factor in this game a little bit too? Let's pop. Potentially it could be. Potentially. We got wind straight out at 8 with nothing and it's 63. So we could have a couple deep flies go a little further than you'd like them to. So, all right, let's open up JK earned runs because 3.5 is a lot. 2025 earned runs. He's averaging 3.1. Last 5, he's averaging 3 on the dot. So they expect him to go more because of who he's facing. I guess that makes sense. Let's look at this. Dustin May history versus A's. Nothing there. Against righties, Angels. I said A's. I meant the Angels. The Halos. There you go. Dodgers versus righties. There you go. And then JK versus Dodgers. Never faced him. That's actually good for him though. So 4-2-3-5-1. I don't know. It might not be good for you, buddy. And 9.5 again. Might take another over. Let's look at the bats. Who we got crushing the bats over here? Let's come back over here. LA. Boop, boop. Otani's 2.5. He's only hit this in 3 out of 5. No, hard pass. Adele just to get 1, maybe. That's not bad. That doesn't look bad at all. Muncy to get a hit, not bad. Taylor Ward to get an RBI. No, I don't like any of these. Only one I actually like is maybe Ado, but no. So, okay, so how we play this. Angels are now they're bad at bats, but the one thing we do notice is they're good at runs. Like they're getting people on with walks. They're getting on with they're hitting home runs. Both teams are hitting home runs. The wind's blowing out 8 miles an hour. See where I'm going with this? They're 7.5. They're combining for 11.7 runs on a 9.5, and it's plus juice. We could take advantage of that maybe. I think I'll go with that. We're gonna trust the Angels to help out, contribute a little bit with the offense here, and we're gonna go over 9.5 in this bad boy and move on to that last game. Moving on, A's and Giants, last game. We're opening up for you, and we can see it is 190 San Fran with a 7-7 total. The wind is definitely a factor. 13 miles an hour straight out. A little cool though, 59 degrees. So let's look over at the spreadsheet and see we have above average offenses for both teams. Not great, not good, just above average is what you want. So you see why they're both 4-6 for a reason. So let's look over at the pitcher props. Who's going out there today in this one? It's going to be Logan Webb, who is 100%, 5 over half strikeouts, and JP Sears. Okay. Now, Webb strikeouts. A's are 11th in strikeouts at 8.17. They're not striking out much this season. They're more disciplined. They don't get walks, though, so there's a chance they could strike out a little bit more. So let's see. We want to take a look at Logan Webb, and let's look at Sears on his stuff, too. So Webb, yeah, last 2025, you see what he's been up to. He's averaging 7.2. Last 5, 7.8. Over 5.5. He only needs 6. A's are getting 8.1. 6 feels low. That feels low. I think he can get that, especially with the way he struck out 6 Padres. That's impressive. He struck out only 6 Rockies. That's concerning. Impressive, concerning, back to back, because that should be like 12, not 6. That should be like 3, not 6. So what are we doing here? 12 Angels, 9 Twins. Oh, you struck out 6 and 5 innings too. That's even better. 6 and 7 innings. What? You just weren't on your A game, were you? No, you gave up runs too. Ooh, buddy. Webb versus A's history. Not much there. Righties, you can see how the A's are. Giants versus lefties. And then JP Sears, nothing there either. So, all right, so whole lot of nothing. Let's look at Sears. Not strikeouts. I want to look at your earned runs to see what you've been giving up. Not bad. Not bad. Last 5 are averaging 1.2, so I don't like that. If anything, I think I might go with Webb strikeouts. I can see him getting to 6 and just calling it a day. That's his goal, is to get 6. So we'll take Webb over. I don't like it because it is 11th for the A's, but man, 5.5 is not bad. We'll take over 5.5 Ks and just call it there. So it gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 plays on a 15 slate day. Makes up with the past series where there was not much there. So we have a lot of stuff, a lot of overs today. 5 overs, damn. And an under. Wow. What are we doing? Who am I? Who am I is the question. So let's go over here. Schedule time. Tomorrow is Saturday. We have our usual slate of games. We have early day games all the way through the day. Nice spread. So I'll be back tomorrow. I appreciate you being here. Drop a like and subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate those that do. Trying to get to 20K. We're getting there. We're at 19. Nice. Go check out the HQ if you want the plays typed out nicely, or if you want access to the spreadsheet. There it is for you right there. Let me know what you're playing in the comments. And other than that, I'll see you tomorrow on Saturday for some more MLB. Peace.